How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back to yet another review. A little bit of unknown Belgian quadruple hopeful goodness in the form of, this is Pleasure House Brewing. This is Snatch Bald-Headed. This is a Belgian-style quadruple ale with mulling spices. No idea what that means. First things first, this comes courtesy of Brian. Thank you very much, brother, down Virginia way. Just kind of getting into beer, and he's kind of fallen in love with the whole Belgian end of things, and he decided to send me off a box of beer. You can go watch the unboxing probably a couple weeks ago. And yeah, this is one of the one he sent. And this is one that intrigues me the most because I have no idea what mulling spices are. Belgian style quadruple. I love it when American breweries take a whack at Belgian beers. And three, that the artwork on here makes me laugh. It reminds me of South Park. What was that? The one guy. I don't even remember his name. He had the handkerchief, and then he had the dude with the slave. I forget his name, though, but he was in South Park. He kind of looks like him, doesn't it? Yeah, Mr. Slave. What was it? It was like his lover. God damn. I'm going to remember it after all this is done. Anyway, yeah, kind of looks like him, but if he lost, 50 lbs. Anyway, so it makes me laugh. As far as what else it says on here, let's see. We have locally brewed by Pleasure House Brewing, Onshore Drive in Virginia Beach. Snatch Bald-Headed. It's a Belgian-style quadruple with mulling spices. Beside here, story time. Very long, so I'm going to try to rip through it. Here we go. As fall turns into winter, here at Pleasure House Brewing, we like to and drink darker and more flavorful beers to cheer and warm us all up. Or warm us all. Yeah, I add words sometimes. And, of course, we love to make beers inspired by the brewers of Belgium. So we use this almost half a ton of the best quality malt as a base, poured a decadent dark of candy syrup into the wort, fermented it down, a dry finish, and added premium mulling spices. The resulting is an intense, complex beer that we think is one of the finest we've made. Why the strange name, you ask? Cool. Around here, it's a great colloquial phrase for what parents say they'll do to misbehaving kids. But now that we're all grown up, it might just be a great excuse to misbehave again. 12.5%. Deeply malty with cherry notes, warming spices, and a dry finish. Done and done. Crack this sucker open. So yeah, got my big St. Bernardus goblet here. Give this a twist. Let's see what happens. Oh. Hopefully it doesn't explode. I've noticed these, you see these kind of flat-topped corks. I've noticed a lot of these come from breweries, smaller breweries. I don't know how to phrase that to not sound like a jerk. But breweries that are more just getting into the game now. Is that the case with these guys? I don't know. I don't know who they are. But they tend to be a pain to get out, for one. And the other portion of the show that I've noticed is that I have a lot of beers that are undercarbonated. Now, I don't know if that's because of the cork or because of the brewery or whatnot. But anyway, hopefully that's not the case here. Is it poor? It's pretty well carbonated to me. I mean, it's a Belgian, so could use a little bit more. But let's stop there. Way too much beer in there. But I mean, from a distance, that to me is spot on for what a quad should look like. I mean, you're talking about that rich, kind of malted malt ball colored head, kind of dark, rich, brownish mahogany kind of body to it, due to water, kind of murkiness. Definitely not clear. A lot of American breweries end up having it happen with a lot of the Belgians they tend to produce. They end up coming off very clear. I think there needs to be a bit of kind of murkiness to a quad in order for it to be a quad. But yeah, I mean, from the distance, it looks spot on to what a quad should look like, at least in my book. See if we can get a nose on her. I mean, she's there. God damn it. I knew I was going to spill it. I'm the worst at twirling beer. I'm going to spill everything. Yeah, she's there, man. Like she has this kind of rich red fruit date figgy thing, which I think is quintessential again for a lot of Belgians, but more specifically quads. The only knock I would give it is it's not that impactful. I kind of had to dig in there. That's why I was trying to swirl it around without spilling it all over the place. That's why you pour less in the glass. I can't help myself sometimes, though. I get really excited. Yeah. Now, You're getting those rich kind of dark fruitiness, a little bit of date figginess, a little bit of cherry, you get a little bit of breadiness in there. It's very, very much like a Belgian style quad. There's a bit of an extra spiciness to it. I can't place my finger on it. Almost like a real legit homemade like soda jerk Coca-Cola. Like sarsaparilla and like all the kind of spices you put together to actually make a Coke. Might be those mulling spices. I don't have any idea what mulling spices are, but I'm taking a swing, taking a guess, and assuming that's what it is. So yeah, imagine a nice, well-done Belgian quad, not overly impactful, giving you all the notes, that breadiness, a little bit of red fruitiness, nice sweetness to it, but a little bit of kind of that old school, legit Coca-Cola spiciness to it. Not necessarily the sweetness, just that little bit of spiciness. So it ends up coming out pretty freaking cool, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm gonna dive in. Cheers. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, here's the deal. Apparently mulling spices are just gingerbread, because this is a Belgian quad, had a baby with a winter warmer. Getting those big, huge, rich... I mean, they talked about it getting into winter and getting all those kind of richer... or start making and enjoying those darker beers. The spices in here are coming off very much like winter warmer meets gingerbread kind of spices. So you're getting that little bit of nutmeg, you're getting a little bit of kind of that ginger, you're getting a little bit of that clove in there, you're getting a little bit of that, almost like an allspice in there. And while it's impactful, it's very impactful, it's unmistakable, it's still the core beer, I believe, still wins. It's a little bit thin for a quad, but it has a nice mouthfeel, but it's a little bit thinner than I like it to be, like a really solid kind of, West Wiedelin kind of St. Bernardus level kind of body for a quad. You get that nice Belgian candy sugar. It comes off authentic. Doesn't come off like burnt brown sugar or anything like that. You get a little bit of that date figgy red fruitiness kind of thing going on in there. Soft breadiness from the yeast. It's nice. It's I'm gonna say it's one of the better Belgian quads that I've had from a United States brewery. Is it the best? No. I think a lot of breweries have reached the next level beyond this. You're talking your Kings of the world, your Block 15s of the world, your Barrel of Monks. I believe they get a little bit closer to that quad end of things that I like. But this is pretty damn close. Way better than a lot of breweries that kind of swing for that kind of Abbey Belgian double quad dark fence and miss pretty damn craptastically. It's tasty. I like it. I was about to say it doesn't drink like 12.5%, but it does. It's got a nice sweetness to it, so it goes down easy. But I was taking a sip there, I'm like, okay, this is a boozy beer. So it has some oomph to it. It's tasty. Honestly, from a brewery I've never heard of, with a kooky South Parkish label on it, with this many spices, but at the same time retaining a kind of authentic kind of Belgian vibe to it, I think it's pretty good stuff. It's tasty. Like I said, there's better examples out there. If the spice was kicked back a little bit, you focus a little bit more on the quad, it'd probably be even better for me. But for what it's trying to do, and it's doing what it's doing, it's like telling you we're doing these spices in here and this is what we want to do. It's a great example of an American brewery trying to do the Belgian stuff and kind of doing a pretty damn fucking killer job of it. And let's talk about it. It's one of the better. I'm gonna go winter warmer. I don't even want to put it in quad territory, even though it is there. It's more like we have a brewery kind of semi-local to me now that used to be super local called Breaker Brewing. They do their Bell Snickler. It's always been like, is it a quad? Is it a winter warmer? Fall somewhere in between. It's one of those. Is it one of the better ones? Yeah, actually, it's probably the best. Even better than that one. And I'm a big fan of that Bell Snickler. It gets the quad part right. And the spices are nice, just a little touch heavy-handed for me, but still nice and not overpowering. The beer still wins. It's just a little bit. I just want to be more quad than spiciness, and it's just a little bit more spiciness than quad. Even though I keep saying the beer is kind of still there, and the leading portion of the show it is. It's just, you know what I mean. I'm being me. Value and availability, no idea. Like I said, Brian actually sent this off, so maybe he can chime in and let us know how much it costs and all that fun stuff, and leave you with, if you like what we like this. if you like quads, if you grew up in the Belgian world and beer-wise, and you dig on them, you like them, you want to see what the American breweries have to offer. Like I said, I named some breweries I love: Kane, Block 15, Schlafly. All of them do great Belgian-style beers. I mean, I don't think of beer when I think of Virginia Beach. So, I'll tell you right now, my brother lives down Myrtle. I'll be popping down Virginia Way and visiting some people when it comes to late summer. If I'm close to this place, I'm going to pop in, because if this is the kind of stuff they're doing, I should have known about them earlier. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the whole social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice Belgian winter warmer-esque quad right now. And hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.